I'd like to start off with a question about how all of this started and how you got to where you are today.
I'm pretty much a pragmatic person, so I never dreamed like that.
Has it been difficult for you to sort of mentally switch between doing the work?
They have a feeling of family. It's not just your work and it's not just your colleague.
Don't do it for me, I do it for you. So you know when you've done something that you've done it well. Igor Tabas is the co-founder and CEO of Reenbit, a Ukrainian IT company that turns client ideas into powerful software solutions. We've also partnered with Reenbit over the past year, and I've been truly impressed with their quality of delivery and overall authentic customer service. As the leader of Reenbit, Igor was once a .NET prodigy and an Azure expert, but now he leads a skilled team of 80+ specializing in customer software development, AI and data engineering. But Igor isn't just passionate about business. He's also a proud dad, a squash lover, and someone who finds peace amongst mountain slopes. In this episode of CEO Stories, we'll look at the ups and downs of leading an IT company during a time where his country is at war, what inspires him, and his vision for the future of tech. Igor, thank you for being here today. And I'd like to start off with a question about how all of this started and how you got to where you are today.
Thank you for having me here. It's a long story. I never thought that I would start a business, so it wasn't something that I planned from beginning. So in the beginning of my career, I just started as software developer, and I was more on technical side of things, so developing solutions, solving some business problems. And at that point, I just thought that I will be just great developer for decades, and I love it very, very much. But then I understood that it's something more, just not just developing, and you should communicate with a lot of people, you should manage a team. And as far as I becoming I started taking more leadership positions. I understood that I can do more than just developing. So I can lead the teams, communicate with different stakeholders.
Was there a thing or like a moment where you realized that maybe you could do this, or like a sort of start your own company?
Yeah, it was time when I said that maybe I need more freedom and flexibility to do in the way I want.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought I had different thoughts. It's like I could change a company, I could change direction, but then I realized that in any company, I should follow like company's rules.
Right.
You don't know in advance what rules you will see in your company you should follow. So, and that I thought it's like good idea to start your own company. You will have freedom, you will have flexibility, and and I have great friends. They work with me for a long time. I knew them for a long time. We shared common values. So, and I had a couple of talks with them, and we thought, why not?
A lot of people talk about sort of choosing your co-founders really well. And how did you know that these friends would be great friends to help you start a company?
First of all, because at the time I knew them for many years. So most of them it's like from university, and it was already more than 10 years that I knew persons. So with some of them we shared a flat during university time. So I knew these persons for a long time. So that's why I trusted them. I still trust them. So it was.
Do you ever get into like significant arguments or disagree on decisions? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're 5 co-founders, right? Do you ever sort of disagree on key decisions or anything like that?
I I cannot. I don't remember something very very important. So usually we agree that if something not important and we vote, it's enough only 3 votes.
So you'd vote, and then
Yeah.
you literally go 3 votes outweighs.
Yeah, if something pretty much smaller, because if something more strategic, we agree that we should have all votes.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you vote for something small, and maybe you have different opinion, and 3 or 4 others have another one, it's okay. It's okay. But if something strategic, you don't want to feel like you lose.
And I have to ask this question because I run a data company. Do you ever use data to help you make your decisions? So.
Yeah, we started to use it quite heavily. You know that we have great experience and expertise in BI tools. So one of our co-founder, and we record literally everything in terms of our operation, company operation, and now we have a lot of reports and
yeah, that's interesting. So when you say you record everything about the operation, so it's like whatever you do in terms of projects or
spending hours and so on. So
interesting.
Usually we send the timesheets to our clients, and we used to record all our time spendings in our internal systems that we built almost from very beginning. So we started it maybe 5 years ago, and we gained a lot of data, and now we even have historical data we can compare, like from very beginning, and see how we.
And maybe on the positive side, how important has it been to you to have their support? You know, these are your friends from university, you've worked with them a lot. Do you feel like it would have been different had they not been there to support you in starting the company?
I think everyone makes his own contribution to the company, and it looks like that we worked on a similar project. We have similar experience, even a technical background, pretty much similar, but we are very different, and we think differently. And I think.
Do you think that's a good thing? Like
it's very great that we like. We add in something additional because and it gives more synergy to our company. We have like we share like basic common values, but everyone has different opinion on some things. So and it balances us a lot and gives opportunity to grow.
Yeah, better perspective. Yeah, I'm jealous in a way because. You know, I'm a single founder, and then sometimes you wonder, you know, if you had a few more voices, like, and then have more balanced perspective. I think that's a really nice.
Yeah, it's very great because sometimes you think that you're doing right, you have full control, you do right thing, but then you just hear a different opinion, and it's very valuable.
Yeah.
In such cases.
I was curious about the name. Reenbit. So like living in the Netherlands, that sounds fairly Dutch actually. So, but of course you're a Ukrainian company. Where did that start, or what does it mean to you?
It wasn't first name. So before that we started company pretty quick, and we got first big client for us at that time, and we needed legal entity, and so we just created company. And
what was the first name?
It was Novaksoft. And
Novaksoft.
Yeah, it was like there was some meaning in that name, but it wasn't something that we wanted to have in the future. And we created that legal entity with that name, and we knew that we will change it.
Okay.
And maybe we work half of the year or even more, and then we always knew that we should change. We always postponed this time, but Then we understood that we need to create a marketing, create all pages, and we should have new name. And it took us a lot of time to invent new name, because usually, like at that time, we thought that all cool names already used. So it's like, I don't remember why we wanted to have a bit in the end. So we tried to iterate, think what we can put in front. Even had another name that we thought at the time very good name. We bought everything, like domain name, everything, but then we realized that in Ukrainian pronunciation it's not a good name, because it.
So you were thinking of the international market already when you created the name.
Right. And then we had another iteration, and I even don't remember how we choose that name. And
did you vote? Did you go like 5? You need 5 votes. Is that a strategic decision?
Yeah, it was a strategic decision, but at that time we was so bored to choose this name, and when we saw name that sounds good, it's not. It doesn't take it by anyone now, and it's like okay, let it be. Sounds good, and everyone voted positively.
So I had a story with Nike that Phil Knight, who it was originally called Blue Ribbon, and then he had like a few hours to decide what the company name would be, because they had to literally go print it on a shoe. And he didn't even like the swoosh logo at the time. They had a student that designed that. And then quite literally, he just went, okay, Nike, because one of his colleagues had a dream about this name and suggested it to him, and he wasn't even comfortable with it. And if you see what the brand is now, it's incredible how that actually sort of became a big thing. But maybe let's talk about the sort of early days of, so like you started, so you know the 5 co-founders, you've got to find your first few clients. What was like your first real victory that you had?
I think it wasn't about new clients or new product or service. It was about people.
Okay.
Maybe it was after like 6 or 7 months after we started the company, we realized that we need to hire first employee to our company. And it was about April 2018, I guess. We realized that we need extra hands.
What kind of employee did you hire first?
We need like junior .NET developer at the time. We need one guy at the time, but we was so scared that no one wants to join us, because there are a lot of cool companies in Ukraine, big names, and we are literally just unknown company. We even didn't have an office. We worked in co-working space, even without like separate room. We was in general space, and we had a couple of hours per day to use a meeting room, and it was very tiny meeting room for interviewing guys. It's like maybe 3 square meters without windows, and it's
there's pressure.
And we introduced the first 2 guys, and both of them was very good, and we decided to give offer for both, because we were so afraid that no one accept our offers, so that we even didn't thought that it's not okay to give two offers at the same time, and they both accepted.
Oh, fantastic! So you got your first, and this is your sort of major win in the start.
Yeah, because I realized that they believe in us, and it was very important for us, because before that we just believe it in our co-founders just believe it in our company, and it's like someone else believe it to you.
Yeah.
And
it gives you a lot of confidence, doesn't it?
It was like great first victory, and they both accepted. We needed one guy, but then we thought, okay, let's start with 2 guys. And I'm proud to say that one of these guys still with us.
Oh wow!
So Dima, he still working with us. So last year we celebrated his fifth year university. So I am very proud that he's still with us. So,
That's amazing.
yeah.
I remember the first employee that we hired. You kind of, a bit like what you say, you kind of wonder how would anyone else believe, right, in this idea of what you're trying to start? You know, so you of course believe, your co-founders believe in this idea, but anyone else from the outside. So I sometimes think that the people who jump first to join some idea are, in a sense, the amazing people, because they can see potential even though it's still sort of a future potential, and they sort of buy into that. So I think I have a lot of respect for those first few joiners that sort of help join a journey. Now, how important do you think those first few joiners were to your success as a company overall?
Yeah, definitely very important. So we at the time we realized that we cannot do everything, and they literally run some projects.
Right.
And it was great support for us. So we could concentrate on some business side of things. So, and guys, because in the very beginning we just developed actually projects.
Right.
So, and in the free time we're doing some business development. So, and guys give us great.
Fantastic.
Boost, yeah.
Because the other thing I thought is, I went to your offices yesterday, and I saw the team, I saw some of the pictures that you had over there, and I really got the sense of a really authentic and together group that you have. How do you build that, or how do you sort of create that atmosphere and that platform where people feel like they are a part of something the way you have?
We always try to be like very close to our people, to our team, and in early days we try to do some like to spend time together even outside of the work. Right. And it's very it makes you very close to people, and they have a feeling of family. It's not just your work, and it's not just your colleague. And we even had some questions maybe 2 years ago inside the company, like we asked our employees to choose the word that they the most associate with our company, and the winner was a family.
Okay.
Yeah, so they feel not just like they doing some coding stuff or other things. They have people who support them. And
I was curious about sort of projects now. So you've done now a large number of projects for various clients. Is there one, like, if you had to say personally for you, was your favorite or that makes you proudest that you've done? Which one's your, even if it's not the highest revenue one, what's the one that you think that's a great job that we did?
Maybe I have one. It wasn't the biggest one, but it was like additional value behind the project. So we did a document management system for one of Norwegian NGO, and this document management system provided documents for refugees from all over the world, and it's like the document that they have to fill before asking asylum in different countries. So, and for us it was very, very important project in terms of like winning this
Why was it so important?
Because it was some kind of like competition at the time. So and we knew that we have competitors. We knew that the strict budget, and we put it like the highest budget that they had,
Right.
and we won this deal. And for me, it was like at the time that we were the best at this stage, and I wanted to be the best during implementation and support period. So
talk to me a little bit about that value. So that feeling of wanting to be the best, or sort of having a level of excellence, is that something that you think is like true to you and the way that you want your company to be?
Yeah. So we always try to to do in the best manner what we do. So maybe I even have some personal story about it from my early career. So maybe it was like around 12 years ago or something like that. I was just like junior middle developer, and I was like young guy, does everything fast, cool, coding just perfect. And I thought it was enough. It was enough. I just coding. And then my team leader asked me to write documentation. And I just thought it's like not for developers writing documentation.
You would have loved ChatGPT back then.
Yeah, yeah. It was, and I wrote something like not very accurate, and I showed him. He looked me at this document, showed me a lot of mistakes that I need to change. I spent maybe an hour or so. I changed it. It still wasn't so perfect. I saw it was perfect, but I again showed the guy showed me another mistakes and returned back this work, and I need to redo it third time. Then I spent a lot of time just to make it perfect, and I showed him, and he just looked at me and said, "It's like you couldn't do it like from the first time like that." And for me it was very important, and it's like great lesson at the time that if you do something, regardless if you like it or not, if you started doing, you should do it like
you should do
best.
it like that.
Yeah.
I had a thing that happened to me when I was a kid. I had to help my dad in the garden. It's a bit of a long story in terms of what I had to do, but I had to clean some bits in the garden. And my dad could be quite strict in terms of, like, he would just tell you to do it better, or he wouldn't really sort of stop to teach you a lesson. But when I did it and he went to check it, and he called me and he said, he's like, don't do it for me. He's like, do it for you. So when you've done something, that you've done it well, so you get that feeling. And it's something that always stayed with me. It's like that feeling of, you don't always listen to your father or your parents when you're a kid, but it was like one of those little moments where I realized this is something that's a value that you want to have, and ideally that you take forward. So some pride in what you do, that you also take that into your work. Yeah. I want to switch to what I hope is not too difficult a topic, but Ukraine is currently at war with Russia following the Russian invasion, and you now have to be the CEO during this time. How, if at all, has that changed the way that you have had to lead your team?
Oh yeah, we had a plan because we anticipated something, so we had great plan as we.
You prepared for this?
We prepared, but as we know this famous Michael Tyson quote, it's like everyone has a plan until they punch it in the face. So I don't think it's like everything went another way, but I'm glad that we had a plan. So, but first of all, that we need to change, it's about still people, because we needed to make sure that they are in safe place, and their families, because they cannot work, because in such situation, work becomes like something third or fourth priority. At the time we needed to help our employees who was like in different parts of Ukraine to find safe place. Someone like relocated from, for example, from Kyiv to Lviv, and we need to help them like to make a movement, to find a place to live here, and it was a lot of like organizational stuff that we need to do, and yeah, we needed to invest more in our communication, like inside the company.
I'm really curious about how that feels, because you, of course, no one's there to give you the steps of what to do and what to communicate and how to deal with your employees. What is that? How does that go through your mind? Or did you have to sort of plan for how you would do this, or how did you come up with all the things that you did to make sure that you are ready for this?
Yeah, so actually we had a plan about relocating, because we didn't know like intensity of the war, but we know that here in the western part in Ukraine will be safer than from
So
us.
were you originally not located here and more towards the east?
No, originally we were located here, but we had employees, not many, but still had
some closer to.
So we knew that we will need to relocate some people. So we was prepared for that, and also we had some communication plans, because it was some kind of tension in the air, maybe from the beginning of the year.
Right.
So
I remember.
we already communicated with our clients, and it was like just logical continuation of our communication. So they are supported us as well, and I'm proud to say that no one client left us just because of war. So we continued working with our clients, and maybe I would say that the biggest part of our growth in the first year of the war, it was like extending our services to existing clients. So like new clients were afraid about starting working with us, but existing, they still worked with us and even hired more people.
Were you ever afraid that it would potentially be detrimental to your business? So it could potentially essentially be the end of your company if the war sort of became a more full-scale war?
Oh, it was a full-scale war just because we managed to fight back. So maybe it was like...
I guess if Ukrainian defense wasn't as strong, I guess there must have been a concern in the early days.
So at that time, no one knew what will be in the next days.
And what do you do anything to sort of lift your spirit, or like when you feel like this is a difficult thing that you have to deal with, is there anything you do sort of personally to motivate yourself or to energize yourself or your team when you have to give them some level of hope, I guess?
So at that time, we thought that the best way to do something is help our army. And we did a lot of volunteering jobs, so we tried to find something that they need on the front line. So in the first months it was like a big part of our life that we finding something in Ukraine or in Europe, buying some stuff, shipping to our friends on the front line. So, and it motivates us a lot, like just to fight here and help.
Right. Maybe I'll tell you the story. I saw in a store the other day, I saw a Fight Like Ukrainians hat. So like a cap you can buy, and I think it's a brand now in Ukraine that is called something like Fight Like Ukrainians. My sense, and maybe this is from abroad and sort of the way we can see it from the outside, is that there's a big fighting spirit, and it's been in a fairly incredible way that Ukraine has defended itself against Russia. Is it something you think inside every Ukrainian, inside yourself and your team, that resembles that spirit, that sort of fight like Ukrainians?
We usually don't want like step back.
So you're a .NET and Azure expert. And you mentioned earlier sort of that you had to become this leader. Has it been difficult for you to sort of mentally switch between doing the work and then having to manage people who has to do the work?
Yeah, it was some stress for me.
Have you ever sort of like not done it like great, where you think that that's just like a leadership type thing that you had to learn? Or is it sort of something that came fairly naturally to you?
So first, it was kind of stress for me because you need to learn something new that you knew for some manner, but you need to learn a lot. And other hand, you should forget something that you worked for years.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like, so it's okay. I can do less and less and less, and whether I can return back and still do some coding stuff. Because it was,
Do you miss it sometimes, like doing the work, or do you still do something?
Yeah, so I do something like very, very small.
Right.
So I keep another laptop for that.
So like a side hobby or something.
Yeah, because I still have Windows laptop for .NET stuff. It's easier to code. Yeah, sometimes I miss it. So maybe like a month or two ago I try to build something small for me, just to automate some my routine job tasks, and yeah.
Okay, so just because you like it, you still intend to do, and you can improve things.
Yeah, right? And it also was like, if I still can do it.
So testing yourself.
Just to prove if I could, and I did it. Yeah. Pretty quick, and some kind of satisfaction.
I heard a story from the OpenAI, one of the OpenAI guys, saying that AI or ChatGPT now is up to like the 125th best developer in the world in terms of its ability to code, and it's only getting faster and better. And I guess it won't be long before they top in terms of being able to code. Now, running an IT company where a lot of what you do is custom development, do you worry about the impact of AI on your business and potentially competition from bots, I guess?
Yeah. I worry like to be to follow the trend and to be on this first wave who will adopt it. So we should learn quickly how to use it, how to make us more efficient, and how to build smarter solutions for our clients. Even now we see that it's like maybe 80% of our new projects, they have AI in description 100%. So everyone wants to use it. I would say that the big percentage of the projects, they even don't know how, but they want to use it. So
I've seen this with some clients where they go, we want you to do some AI stuff. We don't know what, but just do something AI. They want to be able to talk about it, and saying they're that kind of company.
Yeah, and we even have some talk with potential client, and they needed AI and so on, and we introduced our like AI expert for that call, and he started asking the questions. Why do you need it? What do you want as an output? And then it was Ukrainians. They are pretty direct person, and he said, you don't need AI, so it's just simple coding. You don't need something additional. Right. So, but yeah, it becomes a big trend, and it makes applications more smarter, and we should be on this wave.
Right. And what is your thoughts? I mean, looking for your future, considering the sort of adaptation that you need to go through, what do you think the next 5 to 10 years has in store for Reenbit?
I wouldn't say in terms of some kind of numbers. I'm more about the quality and complexity of our projects, and I see historically as we grow, we start getting bigger and bigger projects and solving bigger problems for
Right.
our clients. And I think we will perfect our technical expertise and be on this new wave of AI, data science, and make our clients' life easier.
Yeah.
So with helping them with this new technology that we will already adopt by the time.
And what's sort of the dream? You know, like what's the dream outcome? Like if you could say, whatever I say, Reenbit will become that. How would you see the future for what you want to create?
I'm pretty much pragmatic person, so I never dream like that. But in other hand, I understand that you cannot expect dreams come true if you don't have it.
Right.
So you should dream, but I just more thinking in some
sort of a gradual steps.
gradual
in terms
steps.
of, honestly, sometimes I wish I did that more because I think I tend to go too far, and then you kind of almost need to think about the next step first. Is there something you've done that you think was quite like a stepping stone where you innovated a bit? Maybe you got a project and then decided to do something that was quite original that you feel grew the company, or was like a new idea? Like how do you almost manage that innovation and not staying complacent?
So it consists of two points. So first of all, we always listen our clients and not only what they want to do.
Right.
We listen what about their pains, and then having knowledge from different projects in our company, because we have this synergy inside company, we have knowledge. We try to bring new ideas to our clients, how it can be done in new wave. And it's first of all, and also not only that, we trying to be on top of new technologies. And our industry very dynamic. You always should learn, because you can be a Nokia in a couple of years. So it's like two pillars, those two pillars.
And what's your, like you've got to be a CEO, I guess there's some routine to that, some of the repeat in what you're doing and doing these projects. But what is the thing that kind of keeps you passionate about what you do? What keeps you wanting to get up in the morning and go to work? And what do you love about this?
I love challenges, so and I will always want to get something bigger and more complex in terms of like our company services. So for me, it's interesting to have something new in company that we can show our potential.
Right.
Not just doing something routine every day and it's well paid and we are okay, but we always try to find something new. Maybe find a new service and see what other companies do, and maybe we could something similar or better.
No,
it's like curiosity of
this is a constant development of what you do, and I guess a constant learning as well. And there's so many little things that come up, like with new, whether it's AI tools or new sort of software that you get nowadays, and the speed of it is incredible, right? Like that, and you kind of have to stay on top of it. For those who have to follow your footsteps, if there is one person or 5 people who want to start a new company and they want to be the next Reenbit, what advice would you give to such young entrepreneurs?
Here I have maybe my personal story about my daughter. From very young age, she loves to play with Lego. And now she creates this great pieces with like up to 1,000 small pieces, but
1,000.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like I help her a lot in this hobby, but when she was like maybe 2 or 3 years old, she played with these bigger pieces like Lego Duplo. They are quite bigger, and she constructed some building, something like that small child can construct. And I remember the Sunday morning, then she from early morning she started build something, and it was some kind of like Eiffel Tower or something like this, something pretty much big, and it was bigger than she's height, so it's pretty big construction. And after a couple of hours of constructing, she realized that in the bottom of this tower she used wrong piece. And she thought maybe a couple of seconds, and it's like, not a problem. She destroyed everything till the ground.
Wow.
And started doing again. So essence of this story, it's about think like a child, that it's not too late, it's okay to make a mistake, and you always can start from scratch.
Wow.
So,
would you be able to restart if you had to?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. I like that one. All right. So think like a child and start from the beginning. That's the one. Well, Igor, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for sharing your stories, your insights, and I'd like to wish Reenbit all the best for the future as well.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Great conversation.
Yeah, nice to speak to you.
Yeah.